Today, we're going to cover the 5 questions you should be asking your realtor if they're helping you look for your next property, if you're working with a buyer agent. Now, before I get going on these 5 questions, it's important for buyers to understand something. When you're shopping for a property, it's often the case that you can get buyer representation to no extra cost for you on most MLS systems. And this applies to my local area and it applies to a lot of different areas in North America. The listing salesperson will offer a cooperating commission to the buyer agent, whoever ends up bringing them an offer. And the listing agent will pay directly the cooperating agent, which would be the agent that would represent you for a home purchase. So, why is this important? Well, a lot of buyers go out there and they start calling listing agents to get information on different properties. They see a property on MLS, it's listed by John Smith from ABC Realty. Oh, I'll call John Smith. He's got this listing for sale. And yes, that is good. You will get the information. But what you want to understand here is that agent was hired to represent the interest of the seller. What you want is you want a professional on your side that's going to represent your interest. So ask around, ask your friends, who helped you buy a property when the time came to buy your next home? Who did you enjoy working with? And you'll probably get a few recommendations from your friends and family, and then spend some time interviewing those agents. Ask them questions. When can they be available for showings? What is their track record? How many properties they have sold? Although experience is important, it's not the only thing. There are some great new realtors out there. Sometimes a new realtor might have more time to go out and show you property. Whatever they lack in experience will make up in their availability and just their eagerness to help you out. So lots of different options out there. But let's get right into these questions that you should be asking yourself as a buyer. Number one, what location should you be choosing? Well, that is a very simple question, but once you start digging into it, there's a lot of different answers that can be given. And I guess it all has to do with what your desires are, what your capabilities are. Do you have a pre-approval that is for a lower amount? Well, then your location might be something that, unfortunately, you can't choose exactly the spot where you want to live right now. You might be forced to go slightly outside the city where you work. If where you work is central, you might be forced to drive a bit. And that's the point I want to get across here is sometimes if you're a first-time home buyer, if you're somebody who's just starting out their real estate investing career, it's not a bad idea to go outside the city. As you build up your portfolio, as you build up equities in the properties that you own, you'll be able to sell those properties or refinance them and then purchase the next property. Purchase something that you really want in the area that you want, something that is maybe a bit more luxurious down the road. So the location, although I get some buyers come to me and say, hey, I definitely need to be within 15 minutes of my work. Sometimes we end up buying 30 minutes outside their work because they can buy more property for the amount of dollars. So location can vary from people to people. If money is no object and you can buy whatever price range you want, then I would definitely look at the areas that have been improving the most in recent years. Different markets will offer different amenities, but some markets are at the peak of their demand, meaning that in the next few years, the demand won't go up anymore in those areas. And I think of hot, new, trendy areas in different cities. They're popular, but they're only popular for like 3-4 years. Eventually, the fizz goes out of those areas, and you might find yourself, buying in there and not seeing any appreciation over the next few years. But if you look in other areas, it might be considered maybe a bit run down. There's different markets in Ottawa that I can think of, but those markets are outperforming the hot and trendy areas because they're actually right now on the way up. So, I mean, you want to buy in a market that is on the way up, that is not at the top of wherever they will end up. And that's the point that I want to get across. It depends what your objectives are. If you strictly want to live somewhere because you love the area and that the investment return is it's not your highest concern, then don't worry about that. But if you're looking to make a move for financial gains, always buy in the neighborhood that's on the way up, definitely. Number two, what should you look for when you're touring a house? Well, I mean, there's a lot of things you need to look at. If you like the kitchen, if you like the bathroom, those things are important. You can always change those, but primary things are the important things. And there are things that buyers don't look at when they see properties that they should look at. Number one, the roof. It is a very expensive part of the house. Is it old? Do the shingles need to be changed? Was it recently done? You need to look at them, because if the roof starts leaking, you're going to have problems. If the roof starts leaking, you'll probably need to reshingle the entire roof because the shingles might be old. So you need to look at the roof. Next thing are windows. A lot of buyers overlook windows because they're attracted to the kitchen and the nice bathroom. How old are the windows? If you need to change all the windows in a house, it could cost you $20,000, $30,000, even more sometimes, depending on what you replace them with. But windows are extremely important. The next thing, mechanical systems, the furnace, the AC. Are those things newer or are they on the way out? And if they're on the way out, it could cost you $3,500, $4,500 to change a furnace, maybe $3,000 to change an AC, central AC system. So pay attention to those things. As buyers, we like to look at the space, we like to look at the square footage, we like to look at the nice floors, we like to look at the nice appliances. Yes, those things are all important, and you need to make sure that aesthetically the house is pleasing for you, or that you can make it your own. But pay attention to the big stuff: the roof, the windows, the mechanical system, the AC, the furnace. Those are all super important. And if you're buying a rural property, you'll need to pay attention to the septic system, the septic bed, possibly get an inspection on that, and also the well. Make sure that everything is good with that drinking water. Number three, what concessions and contingencies should you include in a contract? Well, there are a lot of conditions that I have in my standard contract. Home inspection is a must. Buyer getting approved for a mortgage is a must. And also, one that you might not think of is getting insurance. Some buyers buy properties, and then it turns out that for whatever reason, that property is heated with a wood stove. The insurance premium is going to go through the roof. It might be in a floodplain. The insurance premium is going to go through the roof. So when you submit a contract, you need to make sure that all those things are covered. Your insurance, you want to do a home inspection, and you want to make sure that the bank is cool with you buying this property. So a finance condition. You might have a pre-approval in hand saying that this buyer is approved to $500,000, but has the bank looked at the property and have they approved the property for you to buy? Because if in the bank's eyes that property is not worth $500,000, it's worth $350,000, they won't finance you the deal. So it's very important for you to put a financing condition in the deal if you are getting a mortgage. If you're buying cash, then hey, there's no need to put that in because you don't need to get a mortgage. And those are the things that I would put in the contract. Again, if it's a rural property, septic inspection, well inspections, those things would be important. And if you're selling a property before buying, then you would need to put a conditional offer upon you selling before purchasing your next property, or else you might be forced to you might not be able to close on the deal if you need the equity out of your current home. Number four, do you know a good inspector, appraiser, or lender? So you need to ask this to your real estate agent. Tell me, who are the other experts that you have in your Rolodex? Who are your contacts in the industry? When you meet that buyer agent that will help you purchase the property, ask them, who do you know that's a good representative at the local bank? Do you know a good mortgage broker in the area that can help us with our financing? even if you have a pre-approval in hand, sometimes it's good to get a second opinion. If you're comfortable with the first one, obviously stick with the first one. There are a lot of advantages to being loyal in this business, of course. Inspectors, ask the realtor, who do you know that's a good inspector? The realtor, if they've been around for a few years, they've had the opportunity to see good inspectors and bad inspectors, and lean on their experience. Ask them, who did you like working with as far as inspectors? Very important to get good recommendations from your realtor. Lenders and appraisers, that falls within the broker category, of course. And number 5, what expenses should you expect after buying a home? It's important for you to understand exactly what you're getting yourself into. And when you're buying your property, yes, you have the price tag of $400,000, let's say, but what taxes are being charged in your province or your state for people that are buying properties? Is there a first-time home buyer tax discount? Is there a land transfer tax? Do you need to pay a registration fee at the local township? Different areas will have different closing fees. What are the local fees? What are the fees for the local real estate lawyers that will close the deal eventually? All those things are important. And as a buyer, you might find yourself getting burned if you're not paying attention to the fees that you'll need to pay on a successful closing deal. So sometimes a $400,000 deal will require you to bring an extra $10,000 to the closing table for land transfer tax, real estate lawyer fees. Maybe there's some adjustments that will be made at closing. Maybe you'll need to get the septic tank pump. So every case is different, and you need to ask your realtor the question, if we buy this property, what will be the closing costs? Okay, so there you have it. Those are 5 questions that you should be asking yourself and your realtor when you're shopping for a property. So I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos that we're putting out for you. I hope that you're enjoying the content on this channel. If that is the case, do leave a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below in the comments section. There's a good community of people that's forming around this channel. I think we're a little over 800 subscribers. That's crazy. I can't believe we got that many people tuning in. That's good. And share it with your friends. If you've got friends that are buying properties, if you know realtors that you want them to check out this video and see if they agree with the stuff I'm putting out there, share away with your friends. I'm sure they'll get a lot out of this video, and it's going to help the channel grow also. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. So that'll be it for me. Also, another thing, comment in the comment section down below. Let me know, what other topics would you like us to cover on this channel? We talk about real estate, financing, personal development, all those things that are related to those topics. So let us know. And that'll be all for me today. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Ciao for now.